All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about in today's video, so buckle up because it's going to be crazy tomorrow. We have FOMC and CPI coming out tomorrow. CPI comes out at 8:30 in the morning, so we're already going to have insane volatility in pre-market. And then we're going to have FOMC at 2 o'clock, which will tell us what Jerome Powell's decision is, the Fed's decision is in terms of the rate hikes or rate cuts or rate pause, whatever his decision is. I'm going to give you my prediction for it and what I think Jerome Powell is going to do. With that said, I'm also going to cover in this video GameStop and AMC a little bit because I do want to emphasize what they're doing right now. They have some interesting moves coming, and I want to be there to catch these moves. But let's get straight into one of the first things here, and that is how are we doing in the private group for the start of the week. So far, we have done incredible. Another week starting out very, very strong. Last week was really good. This week, even better. With Monday, 6 wins and 1 loss. The 1 loss was unfortunate because I just decided to get rid of it because the stock was not moving. Microsoft today goes up to 432, 433, and I'm sitting here thinking, why didn't I just hold my play? I would have made so much money on it because I did even say it. This has potential to go to all-time highs, and literally it's coming close to all-time highs. So I could have easily made a lot of money on this. I don't know. It could have been a nice, 13 win week already, and like every single trade going green if I just held onto this play. But can't complain. Sometimes you just have to trust your gut. And I made so much money today, I don't really care as much anymore. So 400% on Apple today. Insane run on Apple, and we were there to catch it because we had a swing trade on the $200 calls from last week. And that's because I thought Apple was going to go to all-time highs. And, well, it did go to all-time highs beautifully. So today, 6 wins, 0 losses, 12 wins, 1 loss on the week in just 2 days, with 915% in total gains given, excluding, of course, GameStop, which I am currently up 30% as of close. So it's been a very, very phenomenal day today in the market. 2 plays on PANW going very well, 1 AVGO play going very well, and 2 SPY play doing very well as well. So overall, a very, very awesome day with lots of profits, and all of these were alerted, in the private group in this alert room, along with a lot of these other plays in the morning that I took done through the live session in the live trading room. So been a very, very good week so far. So let's go take a look at what's going on with GameStop and AMC first, and then we'll discuss the market in general. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe, and check out the link in the descriptions below to get into the private group. All right, so GameStop doing very well. Today was another day of a lot of buying volume coming in after yesterday and last Friday having some serious sell-off due to GameStop reporting that they're going to be doing another offering, which is kind of sad. It kills the momentum, but I understand why they're doing it. I just hope that they stop with this one and don't do any more, because if they can keep on doing these offerings, it's going to increase the number of shares available for shorts to short, and it's just going to dilute the shares like AMC did. AMC's management kept giving offerings after offerings after offerings to the point where the stock kind of is like dead. It's not as cool as it used to be. I still think it's good. I still think that it can move with GameStop, but it's not as volatile as it used to be because the stock just doesn't. There's too many shares out there from AMC because they diluted it so hard. I hope GameStop doesn't do that. And, I know that Roaring Kitty is in this play, and Roaring Kitty is up right now, I believe. And Roaring Kitty said that he believes the management will pivot into a different business model or so on and so forth. He has a very strong, firm belief in the company, and that's power to him. I'm playing it more as a meme stock. I think if it goes for a big squeeze, I'll be there to catch the move and make the money. So I did take GameStop today. I did go in on this play at the end of the day with a nice little lotto size, a little bit of the profits that I made today into GameStop because I really liked the way it was getting a lot of volume and it was shaping up. So for me, it was like, okay, this is a perfect time to get in. So what I did is I actually went in on GameStop around the end of the day here, around like $28, and I was like, you know what, let's see if we can do a nice little run up on this because there's a lot of volume coming in at the end of the day. And look, it's doing very well in after hours, getting good amount of volume as well. And of course, AMC, I still have some of the $6 calls. Again, very small size, lotto plays, just seeing if this can make the same move as GameStop does, or at least follow along with GameStop. Mainly, GameStop is the primary stock. And I do think that we're in another phase of a run because, again, it's getting that buying volume coming back and it's above the EMA clouds. It's holding the blue EMA cloud on the daily. I think we'll see a nice push back up to $45 to $50 zone again. Once it takes out the $50 zone, you got no resistance until 65, so we'll see how that shapes up. And then after 65, you got room to 100. So I think we could see another big run here from a GameStop within this week. If not this week, maybe next week. And keep in mind that GameStop is not going to be really impacted by FOMC or CPI because it's a meme stock. It follows its own strategy and its own, thing. It's a separate entity from the market in general. So you're not gonna be impacted as much by what the overall market does. I do, however, like that this is still looking like a sort of a cup and handle setup here. Like it's building another handle here. Could be very, very interesting into another big push coming. So worth watching. That's why I nibbled some lottos and I like the way the setup looks. So again, flow is good. Lots of buyers coming back in on the play. I think we are ready for another run. And of course, AMC, similar idea, just looking for that $6 breakout into more upside and potentially run into that, $8 to $10 area. If it wants to give us that move, great. If it doesn't, hey, it's fine. We're going to see when it is ready to go for a big move. But personally, I think that this could see $7 to $8 and, run with GameStop if GameStop goes to $50, $60, $70 and so on. So keep an eye on these meme stocks because, again, they're shaping up and I like the way they look. I've been making good money on them and I'm going to keep on trying them every time they look interesting. So just watch out for that. With that said, let's go talk about SPY. Now, SPY is sitting at all-time highs, and here's what I think Jerome Powell is going to do. He's going to come in tomorrow, and he's going to tell us that, hey, we're going to pause the rates still. We're not going to change the rates. Keep it paused. We're not going to hike rates, but we're not going to cut. And market's initial reaction is going to be a little bit of a negative move, but then he's going to say something like, we do plan on having a rate cut later this year, and that's going to push the market up like crazy because what everybody wants is a rate cut, and that will create a lot of bullish flow and bullish move. Now, that is very dependent on what the CPI data is. If CPI data comes out to be extremely bad, which hints at inflation being up rather than down, then he's probably not going to do any rate cut later this year, and market will see a big drop. Okay. However, if CPI does come in line or under the expectation, everybody's going to be bullish right out of the gate, and he will likely do a rate cut later this year. So we'll see what happens with what he says. Again, it's just my prediction. I could be completely wrong, and just be ready. Don't be biased. If it goes up, be ready to play some calls. If it goes down, be ready to play some puts. I'll be alerting the plays that I take for this one in the private group tomorrow. So as always, be ready to watch out for these big moves on the SPY tomorrow. It's going to be very volatile and it's going to be really fun. While tomorrow, before before FOMC meeting happens at 2 o'clock Eastern time, there are a couple of stocks that I want you to focus on, and these stocks are really interesting because they have setups that are shaping up for me, at least. The first one has to be Microsoft. Microsoft, very close to all-time highs. It's pretty much hitting it in the aftermarket. All-time high is sitting at like 433.70, so just round it up to 434. If it breaks 434, I think we can see a nice push into like 440 to potentially 450. Look at how Apple moved. Apple broke all-time high around 200 and ran another 7 point, and it closed at that spot. It was a humongous move from Apple because Apple had the WWDC event yesterday, and they released some amazing stuff yesterday for iPhones and all of their devices across the board. And people yesterday sold it off, and I was surprised because I was like, there's nothing bearish about it. It was actually good stuff that they're releasing with Apple Intelligence and so on. So like for me, this Apple looked extremely bullish, and so this is why I held on to my swing, and I got rewarded for it today with a 400% win. So Apple could continue to go up higher tomorrow. Now, I do think this is a ridiculous move. Like, this is a massive move for Apple, humongous candle. So I do expect some pullback on the stock, but the stock is very bullish, and that should create some nice moves on the SPY. One thing I did not mention with SPY is that I don't think Jerome Powell is going to come in and say anything massively negative to crash the market, right? And then the reason I say this is because it's election year, and 99% of the election years that we have seen in the history in the past have all been very positive. There have been only few ones that were a negative election year. Majority of the election years have been very positive for the market. So heading into the election later this year, well, guess what? The government is going to put pressure on Jerome Powell to keep the market going and make it bullish and keep on pushing it. So again, I do think that tomorrow you're not going to see a downward move, but more of an upward push, and that's what my expectation is. Not to mention, SPY is at 537 and is very close to 550, which is a pretty big level that the SPY is likely going to hit. So watch out for that, because I do like that setup going into that 550 area. It's just bullish right now. There's no negative thing here going on with SPY. You got positive flow above the EMA cloud. It's just bullish, nothing to short at this point, honestly. You can day trade shorts, but that's about it. You can't swing any shorts. You just, every day you're bullish, so you just play the move to the upside when you have a good opportunity for entry. But yeah, Microsoft all-time high watch tomorrow, break of 434, 435, send it to 440. I'm going to be playing this tomorrow for sure. EMA crossover right here, which is very, very nice. Red to green EMA crossover, bullish setup here with the volume being bullish. Very nice. The other stock that I want you to watch out for is SMCI still, because I do think if it takes out this 750 area, shorted, lots of negative flow throughout the whole week, and it hasn't been able to push because it's so bearish. So 750 breaks, dump it down to 730, and then 730 breaks, dump it down to 700. So definitely stay bullish, bearish on this one until it starts turning around and breaking these EMA clouds. It's still under the red EMA cloud price action, under the blue EMA cloud. So to me, it's bearish still. NVIDIA, for me, just nothing there. It used to be fun before split. Now it's a slow stock. So for me, this one's more like, hey, I'm gonna stop watching you from now on, because you're no longer fun to trade anymore. You're just gonna be like a long-term stock like Amazon that barely moves until it goes back up like $200-$300, and then the volatility comes back. So yeah, just not as cool as it used to be. Too much float in the market for this stock. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it will give us some volatility move here and there, but not anymore with how things have been. The other big stock that I want you to continue to watch is a PANW. Okay, the main reason I want you to watch PANW is because I think CrowdStrike is going to go up to $400, and it's going to lift the entire sector, and PANWs within that sector. Now, the reason I say CrowdStrike is going to go up more is because it's getting added to the S&P 500, and it's going to have a multi-day run, because everybody's going to be adding this to their portfolio because it's in the S&P 500. And so what is going to happen is you're going to have a lot of buying volume like you see the yesterday and today. And so CrowdStrike over 386, you're going to see 390 to 400 by the end of the week, in my opinion. And that should create some nice volatility on PANW. PANW has an EMA crossover going from red to green from yesterday. Good positive flow on the bottom right here. And so I think this stock over 315 tomorrow, you're going to look for a push to 320 to 325. After 325 break, you have a massive gap fill to 350 to 360. So that's going to be those next targets. Beautiful chart setup, lots of potential here. I love this setup. I'm going to be playing this tomorrow as well. I played it 2 times today, and I made profit on both times. So I'm going to be playing it tomorrow to make more money on this one. One of my favorite setups heading into the rest of the week. And so be ready for it. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace.